What do you think is the reason that so many people who call themselves leftists have completely abandoned COVID and talk about it in the past tense and make fun of you or me for wearing a mask? Like, what do you
we're
think is
deep
going
state
on
here
there?
too, by the way, for our COVID
Yeah.
views.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really weird because, of course, they had complete solidarity in the beginning of the pandemic when they personally thought they were in danger.
Yeah.
I think it's selfish. I think ableism is a type of bigotry that is completely normalized on the left and always
Right.
has been completely normalized on the left.
Yeah.
There's never been, racism and misogyny too, but I think that those have become more socially unacceptable for these
Right.
people, whereas ableism is completely socially acceptable across
Yep.
the political spectrum. So I think that's a huge problem. I think they fundamentally, it's easier to fall into fascism. It's easier to believe that people are dying because they're weak. Like this is, I mean, eugenics are the fundamental sort of
That's
core
the thing.
ideals.
The true science behind it, they should all be scared. They should all be worried. They should all be protecting, it's a working class issue. So like, even I understand ableism is their excuse for, it's only the sick and the weak falling by the wayside, that kind of thing. But truly, this affects everybody. And let's talk about what it's doing to kids. And
they don't
the
care.
left should be doing that.
They
right?
don't care. Of course, they should be doing it, but the only people talking about that are wellness influencers who are conveniently fascists, and they are the only ones that will acknowledge the ongoing harm of COVID. And I think that's a huge problem.
Yeah, like I didn't realize that. So, like, because I didn't realize that. I mean, I know that they talk about the jab. Oh, did you get the jab? Did you get the jab? But like,
yeah, well, they attribute all of the problems of long COVID to the vaccine.
Right.
And
the
so
void has created,
but they're the only ones even acknowledging that we have skyrocketing rates of heart attacks or strokes or cancers are going up. Like they're the only ones even acknowledging it. Of course, no, you're right that they're providing the wrong explanation for it, but they're acknowledging
like, oh,
the
he's
harm.
Overweight. It's all that. It's like
get or
off
other
your phone.
things. Yeah. But it's like it's a huge problem that the liberals and left will not acknowledge it, just like they won't acknowledge that vaccines don't stop transmission. They just won't acknowledge that.
Yep.
And that's a huge problem because you have to acknowledge it. When you don't, people don't trust you.
Yeah. And they have to come up with an answer. And since the Believe Science Party is not explaining that, yes, you still have to mask even though you're vaccinated, and they spent a year lying about it and then telling everybody
the Believe Science Party also lied about AIDS for decades. So
yeah, exactly. So I just lost my train of thought. I've had COVID once, and I'm going to blame my total brain fog on that. But in addition to the health stuff, which clearly like they all feel they're above because they have health insurance and they've had COVID a few times and they still feel fine. Although I will tell you that almost every podcaster I listen to on a regular basis sounds disgusting all the time. Like I can hear their phlegmy crap going all through their nose and mouth, and they always are red nose. They're always sick. They're just always sick. And like, like that, you can hear all that. But they always talk about COVID in the past and the crazies who are still wearing masks and all that kind of stuff.
I just don't get it because I'm severely immunocompromised, and my younger sister had cancer growing up and stuff, and like there was always like if she would mask, like you would mask in chemo wards, you would mask if you're a cancer patient. Like these people truly, I think it's also just such an insane level of privilege because these people actually don't have a lot of. It seems like they don't have direct contact with the medical system very much. They just go to urgent care and get some Z-Packs, but like they don't. They're very privileged in that way.
Absolutely. But also it is a labor issue, right?
No, it is a labor issue, but I'm saying like they don't give a fuck about the undocumented workers who also don't have access to health, who are just dying. But because they have phenomenal access to healthcare, they're living in a probably elite coastal city, whatever, just like me. They just think it doesn't affect them, and they have not interacted very much with the healthcare system. Everyone I know that actually interacts with the healthcare system is like, you want to do everything you possibly can to not be sick. And I just think of myself because I didn't do everything I could. I believed the Democrats, and that was the last time I'll ever believe the Democrats on anything. Like we just lied. I thought that if you got vaccinated, you couldn't get COVID because that's what they were telling people.
Yep. No, they lied. We were tracking it so closely that we were seeing that actually at this point, Israel was ahead of us. Like they were doing a pretty good job on things and they were about 3 months ahead. And it was very clear. And then of course it's been revealed that they never even tested to see if it was like, killing the vaccine or killing the virus so that you couldn't spread it, right? Sterilizing it. So it was all a lie. But even before the lie actually was revealed, we could see what was happening in Europe and in Israel. And it was really clear. And also when Trump did his Operation Warp Speed, Democrats were saying you cannot vax only your way out of this. And then as
that was before Joe Biden was president, and then we just had to ignore everything for the economy.
Yeah. But yeah, so the left ignoring the labor issues also, not just the medical issues, but like, there goes Medicare for all. What we could have
They've given up. If they start talking, they can't talk about COVID. Like they can't ever push Medicare for all again because they would have to talk about healthcare. And they don't want to talk about healthcare because they are fundamentally bought into this far right view on health where it's denialism.